Happy Saturday, faithful. We got some good news today because guess what? It's been a kind of a rough week dealing with this NFC Championship loss, but we got some really good news to talk about. Let's talk about it. Let me get the intro. Yo, what's up, everybody? Look at everybody there. How's it going, Nia, Terrence, Labby D? What's good, Nick? What's up, Pablo? Oh man, Jason, appreciate the kind words. Christy, Debbie, how we doing? Everybody else in the building, how we feeling? Hit that like button. We got some great news today. It's the Pro Bowl weekend, and you're sitting there, and you're like, man, this team's in the damn Pro Bowl. We should be in the Super Bowl. And then boom, you get some breaking news. And I know the season didn't go the way we wanted to, but hey, man, last week everybody was worried that Trent Williams was going to retire. There was the end of the season. They were cleaning out the locker room, and they asked him, "Are you going to retire?" And he goes, "My body's just weak, and it's something you think about." And everybody was sitting there going, "Is he going to retire? Holy crap, we can't have Trent Williams retiring." Kyle talked about it the other night. Or the other day in his press conference, he goes, "No, I'm pretty sure Trent's coming back. I don't get the indication that, Trent's going to retire." And Kyle said it. I believe what Kyle says. And then today we get some big time news from Grant Gordon on NFL, around the NFL. It's from the NFL. Basically says that he talked to Trent Williams today at the Pro Bowl, and he says that he's coming back. He goes, so basically the article goes on to say that the San Francisco 49ers left tackle cleared up any confusion regarding his future at Saturday's Pro Bowl game practice, saying he'll be back next season and then some. Huge. He says, yeah, for sure. When asked if he was definitely coming back, he goes, next year, the year after, I'm under contract until I'm 39 years old. That's huge news. We need Trent Williams, because I'm not going to lie to you, if Trent Williams wasn't coming on this team next year, I'd be a little stressed out. Like, it does show, it is one thing. He is getting older, but he's still an elite player, 10-time Pro Bowler, man. This is a guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame the first day he's eligible. First ballot Hall of Fame. We need him, and it would be very, very hard to replace him. So he's at least coming back for next year and the season after that. We got 2 more years. We got to win a ring for this, man. Hyped up. Legendary says he was just hangry. He needed to go eat. Yo, he was stressed out. This is the thing, and this is what I said last week. I was like, these reporters are pressing these guys. They're asking them silly questions the moment they just lost the NFC Championship game. Yo, the media needs to chill sometimes. They ask like the dumbest questions. Like, yeah, okay, the guy's pissed off. He's frustrated. Maybe he wants to retire. Maybe he just tired of the game. He just needed to get his mind right. And he said that maybe he didn't understand. So he goes on. He goes, I think I didn't understand the question. He kind of joked around. He says, maybe I didn't understand the question. He's just trying to play it off. But hey, the media, man, sometimes they gas these players up, and it's just like, give them a few days, give them a week. It wasn't even a week after, the game they played on Sunday. It was literally 2 days later. "Oh, you're going to retire?" He's like, "Bro, I'm tired." He's sitting there. He's got crutches. His legs in a boot. He's in a walking boot. He's probably tired, beat up. And the media's like, "Oh, he's going to retire. He's going to retire. He's going to retire." Oh, my God, man. I mean, we talked about it last week, and I said he just looks tired, looks defeated. He looks exhausted. That's how I look after a week of work, And that's Trent Williams, a whole year of, under the belt, another year under the belt, a long, grinding season, 17 games plus the playoffs. Boy, was spent. Stuff. He was spent, man. So VZ says he was just venting, and the media took it out of context, as usual. I feel like, yeah, maybe he is thinking about the future down the line. He should be. He's a hell of a player. He's not getting any younger. Like, eventually he will have to think about life after football. But I think in the moment, in the heat of the moment, he was just exhausted, man. He was tired and frustrated. But huge, huge news. Trent Williams will be coming back next season. We definitely need him. Now we need to figure out what else is going to happen the rest of the season, right? off season. It's going to be crazy. We got Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to get an extension? Probably not, because if you really look at the Niners, they don't want to, extend players in their third year if they have that fifth-year option, right? Debo didn't have the fifth-year option. Look at Nick Bosa. They didn't pick up the extension in his third year. They're going to do it this year. And again, Nick Bosa is going to be the big, what's the word I'm looking for? He's going to be the big focal point. He's basically the focal point of this offseason. Everything circles around Nick Bosa this year. I'm sure they'll figure it out. It's going to take some time, but Nick's the guy. They have to extend and get his money. So everything else kind of comes off of that. And then you got to compete with these other coaches, D'Amico Ryans and Robert Salah and Mike McDaniel. They're going to try to take some 49er talent because they're familiar with them and they want to get them and they got money to spend. So it's going to be an interesting offseason. And where the heck are these players going to go? I don't know. But the good news about it all is Trent Williams will be back with the Niners. So at least that was really good news today, because it has been a week full of like, oh man, it's been like, oh my God, Brock Purdy, what's going to happen with his elbow? We still don't know. And it was like, okay, Tom Brady retires. And all the rumors was Tom Brady to the Niners. And then boom, D'Amico goes to the Texans. It was just like day after day of crazy news. It's like, man, what's going to happen? So we're going to get any good news. And today, Trent Williams saying he was staying is the best news that you can get all day. So, Jason says, any take on the third string quarterback? I mean, based on what Kyle and Lynch are telling us, they're going to get a veteran. I don't think they're going to get anybody, big time. I really don't think they're going to go out and get like a Derek Carr or anybody like that. Maybe like a Joe Flacco type guy. They're just going to want a veteran. Gardner Minshew, maybe. Like, I honestly, and this is crazy, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Nate Sudfeld back for QB3, just to have him, a veteran. They like him. That's a guy that Trey likes, because they have two young quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, and they're both under rookie contracts, and they do have to sign Nick Bosa. They do have to sign a lot of players, and it's going to be one of those things where you go and sign a big veteran quarterback, now that's going to eat up a little bit of contract. Like if it's like a Derek Carr, like his contract's going to be pretty decent compared to, Trey and Brock Purdy. You got to sign Bosa. So it just doesn't make sense to me unless they do something drastic. You never know. You never know. But I just don't see them doing something crazy. I think they're committed to the two young guys, and they're going to see who's the best of the best and who's healthy and go from there. But they're going to need a third quarterback. That's just how it's going to work. They need depth. We saw this year, every single quarterback went down, and it was crazy. But hopefully Brock's able to play this year. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. What's up, 49ers throwback? Happy Saturday. Yeah. Definitely need depth, but it's tough because Brock Purdy, depending on when he gets the surgery and what type of surgery he's going to get, it's going to dictate when he could come back. He's out at least 6 months, and that's going to take you well on February right now. That's August. Season starts in September. That's a little bit of time to prepare. So right now, Trey Lance is the guy if they don't go bringing anybody in, and he deserves his chance. But again, we still don't know what to expect from Trey. He's hasn't played football in a long time. He played 2 games, a game and a half this year, 2 games last year, really, some preseason, and then he didn't play 2020 because the COVID year. Last time he really played some, a lot of football, a good amount of football, was 2019, when he was at North Dakota State. So it's been a long time. So we don't know what we're going to get out of Trey. I really want to see him go out there and get his reps. He needs those reps to develop. So quarterback situation is going to be interesting, as it usually is for the 49ers. So we'll see how it goes. Jason says Matt Ryan wants a ring. I don't think he'll get one. I don't want Matt Ryan. Guys, he's washed up. I don't know. I'm not a Matt Ryan guy. I guess he would be a decent third string quarterback. I don't know. I know him and Kyle had a thing. They won an MVP back in 2016. That's 7 years ago. 2016. I was still in my early 30s back then. I don't want Matt Ryan. The guy, he just didn't look good. Statue. And if they get a Matt Ryan, they need to fix that O-line 100%. So, Danny says, crazy how everyone calls Trey a bust. It's crazy because he hasn't really even got a chance to prove he is or not. So, got to let the kid perform. Got to see what he's got. Heineke, I wouldn't mind Heineke as a third-string quarterback, honestly. I know a lot of people have thrown that one out there. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, we need depth at the end of the day. That's like the biggest thing. I'm excited for Trey as well. Christy, I think he's got a bright future. He's just got to get out there and play, and he's got to mentally get over whatever hurdles are facing him. I think for Trey, it's going to be mental and how he can be prepared for the situation because he's a young kid. I don't question his athleticism. He's 22 years old. He's got talent. We've seen the film. Like, he has the talent. But can he put it all together, and can he mentally get over these hurdles? So it is a lot. You got to realize he was drafted, high pressure, number 3 pick. You had the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, and then he was backing him up, and everybody doubted him. And then he finally gets his chance. Then he gets injured, like a big injury. It wasn't an easy injury. It was just like a massive injury. And now the mental hurdle of getting over that injury is tough. It's not easy. People don't realize sometimes the mental anguish of coming back from those injuries. So, I got a lot of respect for Trey. I got a lot of respect for Brock. He also has a big injury he has to come back from. And he had a hell of a season, this year in a short amount of time. So both of them are going to need to prove a lot, especially come back from those injuries. Mentally, it's going to be tough. But it's going to be quite the offseason. Well, I don't know what we're going to do. There's so many questions. There's going to be a lot of rumors, and we'll see how it goes. But again, the good news is Trent Williams will be back next year. Thank God. Thank God. What's up, Niner Sickness Podcast? My man Beto, he says, what's up, brother? And all the faithful, what's up, my man? How are you doing? I hope you're happy that Trent Williams is coming back next year, because I know I am. That's what we're talking about mainly today. Trent Williams is, he reportedly told some folks today at the Pro Bowl that he's for sure coming back. Big news, exciting, and that is something we need, because this O-line was it's been a talk of the last week or so, ever since the Niners lost that NFC Championship. Like, was it O-line play? Were they not getting good protection this year? You look at it, but looking back, they didn't have a lot of pressures allowed this year. So I feel like the offensive line overachieved this season, or they played better than they, were expected. But the only issue was they didn't have elite O-line play. Like, look at the Eagles, man. The Eagles O-line, there's really no weakness in that O-line. And I feel like the Niners, if they were to have an O-line like that, man, can you imagine what they'd be able to do? So, yeah, Sickness says he's ecstatic that he's coming back. And me too, man. That's huge, huge news. Again, that's a pillar on our team. Like, that's a guy that we absolutely need on this team. He's a leader, a beautiful veteran. Like, this guy came in a couple years back when they got rid of, when Joe Staley retired. It was like a shot in the heart. But then, boom, Joe Staley retires. And literally the instant he retires, it's like, boom, Trent Williams was traded to the Niners. So it was like a shot in the heart and then a shot in the heart back to revive it. So that was crazy. And I'm happy that you got Trent back. It's not easy to replace a guy like Trent Williams. So LJ says, without Trent, our line does not exist. Great news. I agree. A Boogie says that he wasn't ever going to retire. The media took everything out of context. Yeah, we talked about that. The media, they just loved to start. The moment, man, they were really gassed, and they're like, oh, is he going to retire? Is he going to retire? They got people shaking. And I remember, I was like, I saw that report that night, and I was like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's really saying he's going to retire, but I was like, he didn't say he wasn't. And that's kind of the way they spun it. It was like, oh, he didn't shoot down retirement. I was like, man, you listen to the video. It was kind of like he just seemed exhausted. But I'm glad he cleared. I'm honestly so happy they cleared that. And this fast, like, because it's only been a week, right? And it could have mulled over for the next couple of weeks. But I'm glad he just said, look, we're done with this damn story. None of this. We coming back, baby. We back. Don't worry. And he's got a lot of money on the table. Money's a big factor. This man has a massive contract. You don't want to throw away that money. That's a lot of money. He likes to wear them flashy clothes. So good for Trent. He'll be getting his bag. VZ says, seeing those clips of Kittle when he was hyping the team up and when Warner huddled up with the other linebackers made me proud to be a Niner. Man, it was that mic'd up hit different. It really did. You see this team lose the NFC Championship the way they did, and you see Kittle trying to rally everybody. You could just see they were so sick, man. Like Brandon Ayuk was like, oh, man, you could just tell. He was just like, oh, no, man. And Kittle's like, I never quit, man. Never going to start. And he tried his best to keep these guys' spirits up. They were broken, man. And you got to love Kittle. And even Fred, when Brock went down, he goes, where's Purdy? Where's Purdy? And then at the end, all the linebackers get together. They said, this is it, man. I wouldn't love to do without anybody else. And you see that moment, and you're like, this might be the last time we're going to have this linebacker trio. And it's something we talked about too, that Aziz Al-Shaair most likely is going to go to Houston. Like, it would be shocking if the 49ers brought back Aziz Al-Shaair this year. because he is ready to become a superstar. Like he said in his article that, Hutch Diesel out on KMBR, Jake Hutchinson, he reported, he had a nice article. He talked to Aziz, and Aziz basically says he wants to, graduate to that next level of his career. Like he's been thankful for his time, but it's time to test the free agency waters and see what he can get. He says the players told him to be patient, and Fred Warner even said, he said what I said. It was crazy because he kind of said exactly what I said, that if Fred Warner said, Aziz wants to be the Fred Warner of a team, meaning he's like, not to toot my horn, but I'm kind of standing in his way because he's the star of the team. He's the best linebacker, right? Fred Warner's the Fred Warner, linebacker one. Just like D'Amico was talking about in his press conference the other day, like you could tell how hard Fred Warner's like worked over the years, and that's what D'Amico's so proud of. He saw this guy. People said he wasn't going to be a good middle linebacker, and just the amount of work and effort he put in to be that star, like that's what Aziz wants. And there's no disrespect for him if he has to leave and go chase his bag, whatever. He deserves his money, but he needs an opportunity to be the guy without anybody shining in front of him. He needs his own shine, and it's going to be sad to lose a guy like Aziz because he's so talented and they've developed him well. But I honestly think he's going to Houston and he's going to become the Fred Warner of the Houston Texans. He deserves it 100%. Nia says Aziz deserves it. Wish him nothing but the best, and I agree. He deserves everything that's going to come to him. Like he worked his way up too. He was an undrafted free agent. I remember when he was drafted, he posted something on his Instagram. This was years ago. He posted how he was like poor. He came from the slum. Like he had nothing. And now he's an NFL player. And it was like, you can't take that away from him. And I was like, damn, this guy really came from the struggle. So, guys like that are going to work harder than anybody. And he has. He was undrafted. I remember when he first came to the team, I was like, okay, he's all right. He has some talent, but it was like, you saw missed tackles and he wasn't perfect. But then every year he got better and better. He finally broke out, when he was healthy last year. He was like, damn, this guy's good. Greenlaw was hurt, so they threw Aziz in there, and this guy was a stud back there. I was like, dang, this guy is really good. But again, you have Greenlaw and Warner, and they kind of are ahead of him, and it doesn't allow him to become the superstar that we see. I see a budding superstar in this guy. This guy could become a top flight linebacker in the league, like a top 5 to 10 linebacker in the NFL. He's that close. And next year, when he has his own team and he becomes a star of that team, he will be. Respect to my boy. VZ says, we breed excellence through this franchise. We do. Players, coaches, and it's tough to see him leave because that's how good this team is. Amazing, but at the same time, you build all this talent up, they're going to leave, and that's the business, Hey, Boogie says, not 49er related, but I hope to see an ambidextrous quarterback in the league. So many situations like Sunday won't affect the team. That was, it is interesting to bring that up because I know Kittle joked on the sideline and his mic up. He goes, are you ambidextrous, lefty, to Brock? Because, he hurt throwing shoulder on the right. It was a joke, but at the same time, like, that would be pretty crazy. If you're ambidextrous, you could throw the ball as equally with both arms. That would be kind of crazy. I'm sure one day you're going to see it. Quarterback could throw both, equally as impressive on both sides. That's got to be crazy training, because you got to do everything to one side, to the other side. That's crazy. VZ says he's seen a young man on YouTube he could be the next big quarterback one day in 20 years. Who knows? You never know. That's crazy. That is a query. Like, when you think about it, like when you first see George Kittle asking that question, like, okay, he's just making a joke. And, Brock's not there for it. He's in the moment. He's just like frustrated. But yeah, honestly, yeah, if there was an ambidextrous quarterback, that kind of situation would be a little bit easier to get over. But again, that situation was such an anomaly. And that's the crazy part of what happened to the Niners this season. Just think about it. That's such bad luck. Trey Lance goes down. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down. Brock Purdy goes down in the biggest game of the season. And even the backup quarterback that day went down. It was like, God, dog, man. Just bad luck, There it is. High school quarterback coming up, that is, says Jason. I like to see it. I got to see this. I got to check him out. I'm going to Google him up. Ambidextrous quarterback. Let's get it. I can't wait to see it. You saw the same video. I'm going to have to check it out. Now that you guys put me on game, I'm going to check it out. I like it. I'll check it out today. See what the hype's all about. Niner Gang, Wolfcast, what's good? Shout out to my boy. Mikey Gow. Mikey Gow, my man, legendary answer says Mikey Gow. Okay, I'm gonna search it, and after this, we're gonna watch it. I gotta see this. Now I'm intrigued. Mikey Gow. I'm intrigued. I love it. See, this is why I like you guys. You guys are legendary. That was a legendary answer from my boy Legendary Answers. Mikey Gow is an ambidextrous sophomore quarterback who plays at Bellevue East High School in Nebraska. He's a highly regarded high school sophomore football player. A May 2022 video of Gow throwing footballs accurately, both right and left-handed, went viral on TikTok. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I like it. Niner Gang Wolf Gas, what's up, my boy? Hope you're doing good. You know the vibes. Trent Williams, back. Appreciate that. He got praised by Lamar Jackson. He said he's going to be a first-round pick. I like it. I like it. I like that. We're going to check him out. We're going to check him out. I got to have to see this guy. I like it. There's the kid. There he is. Here he is for y'all to see. There he is. Mikey Gow, ambidextrous quarterback. Book it. 10 years from now, 12 years from now, that boy's about to be QB1 somewhere. Book it. 10, 12 years from now. We'll come back to this in 12 years. We'll come back from this in 12 years and we'll talk about that. We'll see. We got to draft him. We got to draft that guy. Get him on the Niners. And then get a time machine and throw his ass in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. That could be the only hope. Let's get a time machine, put him on the Niners somehow, fix the time continuum. Like, we got to go. You remember Back to the Future, where if you look at the past wrong and you try to change time, it changes the whole course of the future? That's what we need to do. We got to somehow mess up the time continuum and screw it up. Like, who knows? I might, after that happens, you know, and we go back to reality, I might have like 7 ears, 12 eyes. I don't care if the Niners win a Super Bowl. I can take 7 ears and 12 eyes if that's the cost of winning a Super Bowl. 9 arms, whatever the case is. Maybe I'll turn into a fucking lizard. If that's what it costs to win a Super Bowl, turn me into a lizard, my guy. Let's win a Super Bowl. I'm doing it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I hope he's part of the script as well. Niner Gang says, I forgot about that guy. He's had an NFL scouts watching him look like an ambidextrous Trevor Lawrence. That's crazy, man. I can't wait to check this guy out after this stream. I can't believe it. An ambidextrous Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence is good. Can you imagine throwing it that accurate? 2 sides? Come on, quit playing with him. We get him. He better be part of the script, the Niners script. I got to find that script somewhere. But, yeah, anyways, that would be fun to have a guy like that. He's already verified on Instagram. Good night. This kid's legit. Sophomore. Imagine. Anyways, now I wish we had a clone full of Trent Williams is on that O-line. A clone full of O-line, Trent Williams. That's what we need. That's really what we need. But he doesn't have the 49ers defense at him. That's true. The 49ers defense, unfortunately, fell short on Sunday. But, you know, we were talking about this week. What do you guys think that the 49ers need to do to improve their defense? It was good. It was really great. But looking back at it, because, you know, there was a lot of talk. His defense was better in 2013. It was better in 2019. In hindsight, I definitely don't think it was. It had, like, the makings of being a very special defense. But I think they just tired out towards the end of the season. And, again, one of the things we talked about this week is I just don't think they had a premium edge rusher on the other side of Bosa. I think he just wore down. He got a little tired. He was gassed out, and he didn't have much help. I think Armstead's solid, great player. You know, he didn't have a lot of help in the interior. I definitely think they need to go and get a strong edge rusher on that right side, on the other side of Bosa. To me, that is one of my key off-season requirements this team needs to do. And they got to stack that interior D-line. Like, no disrespect to McGill and, you know, those guys in there, Kevin Givens. They're good, but they're not great enough, to be a, you know, elite level D-lineman. And, you know, Javon Kinlaw, he's got a lot to work out himself. He's still developing, you know, because he hasn't played a lot of games. So I think interior D-line is something they got to go and attack, you know. DJ Jones, again, I've said it a couple weeks now. big loss to this team. I really, really, really wish they would have been able to keep DJ. I get it, it's the business, but that to me, looking back at how the season kind of wrapped up, that to me was the biggest loss of last offseason, not bringing back DJ Jones. I think that was the biggest fumble they had. I know he was expensive. It was definitely expensive. Let's see. Nick says, I hope we draft well. We usually do. They were gassed. They need another all-pro DT. I agree. Peter says we need to fix the O and the D line. Yeah, I think the offensive line and the defensive line definitely are the big keys this offseason. The game's won in the trenches. Philadelphia proved it to us that they really dogged us in the trenches. Obviously, the quarterback situation. But other than that, they really dogged us in the trenches. And I think that's where we have to improve this year. O-line, D-line, definitely. Nick says the linebackers are solid. D-line good, depth player, but we need another playmaker on that D-line. Yeah, 100% playmaker. That's the word. They need to stack another playmaker on that D-line. I definitely agree with you on that. Let's see what happens this offseason. There's a lot of free agents. I got to start taking a look at some of these free agents. Man, because can you imagine getting certain people out there to really bolster this line? That's what they need. Again, I know we have some really good young players, and they'll draft very well, but you can't bank on all the young players because some of them are still developing. And just like Kyle Shanahan said, about Drake Jackson, who I think is going to be a solid player, he just says he kind of ran out of gas, and he just wasn't in shape to take that next step and play a full season. Unfortunately, Drake Jackson was a guy who played really, really well as the season started, but as the season went on, Kyle said he just wasn't prepared to play that many games, because the college game is a lot less than the NFL game. So he needs to kind of increase his training, this offseason. What's up, Mariah? How we doing? Mariah in the building. Shout out to you. Always a positive person. Always hopping in the chats and giving people support. Appreciate it. VZ says, I got to ask Raj in the chat. Are y'all watching the Super Bowl? Who do you think's taking it? It's a good question. VZ says, who's everybody rooting for in the Super Bowl? The Chiefs, who beat the 49ers in 2019 in the Super Bowl, or the Eagles, who are fresh off of ruining our season this year? Yeah, it's tough. I hate to root for either team, but I hate the Eagles. I think recency bias is going to take over here. And I guess I'm going to take the Chiefs, man. I can't stand them, but I got respect for Patrick Mahomes. He's a good quarterback. Andy Reid, hell of a coach. I guess I wouldn't be as mad if the Chiefs win because I know they're a premium. They've been to the AFC Championship 5 straight years now. I mean, I guess they deserve a Super Bowl again. Get Patrick his second Super Bowl. The NFL loves that story. They got to put the cape on Patrick Mahomes and say he's the GOAT. I hate the Eagles, man, especially because their fans are so terrible, man. They were throwing water and beer at the Niner fans after the game, like, okay, you guys got the win, and they were still going at it and talking trash and throwing beer at us. It was crazy. Had a couple friends that were at the game, and they said their experience in the Link was just ugly. If I go to Philly next year and the Niners, because the Niners are going to play there again next year, if I make it to that game, oof, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be ugly. So I guess I want the Chiefs to win. I'm not going to be happy that the Chiefs won because, yeah, they beat us in 2019. But, man, the Eagles crushed our season this year after 12 games in a row. They put it to an end, and they've been so despicable to us, all these fans, So I'm going to go with the Eagles. I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. Niner Gang says, F the Eagles and the disgusting fans. 100%. Their fans are just absolutely disgusting. They're gross, man. They don't deserve a Super Bowl. Nia says, I want the Eagles to go all the way to the Super Bowl just to lose. Eagles fans have no classes, Peter. Legendary says, Philly is horrible. He said he was there the year before. It was the same way, and that was a regular season game. Yeah, that's the vibe I get from a lot of people, man. Nick says, F the Eagles and their fans. Don't like the Chiefs, but I can give them another one. I don't want Philadelphia winning shit. Chiefs, boring Super Bowl, says Ryan. Legendary says, Chiefs stopped us from getting 6. Eagles stopped us from getting a chance to compete for number 6. Oh, man. 49ers. Kenny says, 49ers aren't in it. No need to watch. I agree. Bosa, that's a good game. I won't be watching. As much as I don't want to watch, it's the Super Bowl. You get a damn tune in. At the end of the day, I really don't want to, but I'll probably be at a Super Bowl party watching the game. Commercials are always fun to watch. Super Bowl halftime show is always entertainment. I really won't care about the game. I'll probably end up watching it because it's football and I love football. So if I have to pick a team, I'm picking the Chiefs because I do not want to see Philadelphia win a damn Super Bowl. So yeah, Nia says I'm just watching for Rihanna on the commercials. For Rihanna, most people are watching for Rihanna. You know, I think she's gonna come out and have a good show, play some of her classics. You know, I think that's what most fans are looking forward to, Rihanna. If we're being honest. 49er says Kansas City all the way. It's so hard. It's tough to root for Kansas City, but I would never pull myself for rooting for Philadelphia after what just happened last week. There's no way. There's no way. No way. It's my favorite Rihanna song. Oh, there's a lot of good. There's a lot. I mean, all her collabs. You know, the ones she's featured with Drake. Like any Drake Rihanna song, it's money in the bank, dude. Love on the Brain? That's a classic. Of course, Umbrella, the one that broke her into stardom. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think there's a favorite. She just has a good playlist. She has a great catalog, man. Umbrella was classic. Empire. What's the one with Eminem? The one with Eminem was crazy. Was crazy. All her songs, they're just amazing, man. Can't mess with her. Can't mess with Rihanna. Crazy catalog. Love the Way You Lie. That's the one. That might be the one. That might be the one. Might be the one. Po de Replay. Oh, yeah, that was a good. There's so many good ones. Bitch Better Have My Money. I like that. That's a vibe. My daughter loves that one. I remember when the first time I heard her singing it, she was like 8. I said, "What'd you just say?" She's like, "Bitch Better Have My Money." I was like, "Oh God, I better stop listening to this song." 8-year-old listen to it. It was funny. I love that song though. Don't Stop the Music. Oh, that's a good one too. There's so many good ones, man. Florence says, I heard about Fred Warner's wife being mistreated in Philadelphia. She says she didn't feel safe. Yeah, I saw that. She had a TikTok and she was talking about how just Philadelphia was treating her like trash. You know, it's unfortunate. Again, those fans are ruthless. So make sure the faithful vote for Ray Pena for Niner Fan of the Year. Yeah, let's go. I hope you guys have voted. We put it on the story the other day. We came on my live the other day. I hope my boy Ray wins. The Eye of the Niner. Cool dude. I've met him many times at different events. Met him at the games. Got the Niner. His eye is a 49ers eye. You know, he had some. You know, he lost his eye when he was younger, and they put the eye. 49ers logo is his eye. That's crazy. So. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to hop in a little bit, talk a little bit of Trent Williams, and you know, enjoy the weekend. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. It's tough. Season's not back, but hey, hopefully the off season goes as planned. Hopefully it goes well. Again, it's gonna be a crazy, crazy off season. The good news is Trent Williams is back, according to reports today. So at least we got one good news out of the way today. But off season has just barely begun, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, you guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Get some rest. Have some fun. Pro Bowl tomorrow. Guess we'll watch it. Anyways, love y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Bang, bang. Not again.